So hello everyone and welcome to the Smarter Building podcast. I'm joined here today by Josef Carlson from Svea Solar, is that correct?
Yeah.
And we are live from the Nordic BIM Summit today. So thank you so much for joining us, Josef. Before we start, could you just introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. So hi everyone, I'm Josef. I've been working about 3 years with designing and optimizing solar parks. So in Sweden, it's a very new concept of solar parks. But what we do is basically we take land, we try to build the best design technical one and the financial one. And I've been doing that for this time, both analyzing this in more of a algorithmic way, but also practically in the sort of in CAD and those sort of programs. Now I'm leading the design team here. We're about 7 people doing this. And I have been, now also implementing this ACC Autodesk Construction Cloud for the last half year.
So how did you actually get into doing that then, your role today?
Yeah, so I've been always passionate about sustainability for sure. Mm-hmm. And most of the people working at Svea Solar is very driven about sustainability, and that's why I want to do that. So it's a very good combination because it's sort of a technical, very hands-on way to do it. You're literally putting up solar panels. So I would say that's it.
So obviously you are presenting at the BIM Summit today. How have you found the event so far? And could you just give our listeners a bit of an overview of what you presented on today?
Yes. So basically, the event is great. I mean, I complimented the technicians back there. I mean, everything works. So used to that.
That is very hard.
Great work there. So I've been presenting about how we last year implemented this digital construction platform to try to improve the way we build solar parks.
Right.
And so that's basically it. I take everyone through the problems you could have if you don't have a good way of visualizing your drawings at site, if you have bad connection, or if you have different platforms that you don't know where the drawing is. So I try to explain what the benefit of going to one cloud platform that you have all the drawings in, and that you can easily communicate with the app that the people on site are using, and the desktops that people like me in the office are.
So why is it necessary to kind of shift from this traditional file management, as you said in your presentation, to a digital construction platform?
It's a lot of them, but I would say what I'm interested in most is the continuous improvement we work with. So we have worked this since we started, and that's why we build a lot of solar parks, and we build them better all the time. But it's way more easy to have someone when they're facing a problem at site, when they see it's a lot of water in the trench, for example, they can take a picture of it. They can say, okay, this is the problem, this is a picture, this is the root cause of the problem, and this is how we solve it, basically. And then you can see that, okay, maybe 40% of the problem was due to this wet trench in certain time of the year and a certain ground. You can analyze this and really prove. The other way we sort of did it before is that you had the problem and then you went into your construction container and they had to write it down in your Excel file, and it's very difficult to keep track of all that.
Quite manual.
Yeah.
So who are Svea Solar? What exactly is it that you do? So obviously you're talking about this transition that you're going through now, but what is the overall aim?
So Svea Solar is one of Europe's leading solar energy companies. So we work in residential. So this means installing if you have a villa, then we install solar panels on your villa and the batteries as well. And then we have commercial and industrial. So you install solar panels on industries, big rooftops, and then I work in solar park business. And the goal is to push the transition towards a renewable grid. And in Sweden, we have a good electricity grid already, but it's we export a lot to areas in Northern Europe that doesn't have that grid. So Poland, for example, that doesn't have that grid. So we're basically competing out a lot of coal plants. So
yeah, that's an interesting point. So you obviously said, can you kind of set up for it in Sweden, not so much Poland? Are Sweden maybe leading the way in this, or is there another country where it is kind of accelerating a bit more that you've seen?
Well, Germany has been a leader in solar for a while. I mean, they have been really the early adopters there because of regulations they had about 20 years ago. So they're, in the installation side, way ahead. A lot of parts in Europe are also starting out with solar. I mean, Sweden has been a little bit behind. I think we're at about 2% solar in Sweden, but it's exploding. And like I said in the presentation, I mean, for the large scale solar, 2019, we only have one solar park that has been installed in all of Sweden during that year. And then only this team that I'm working with installed 17 of that last year. So exponential growth just these past years. Really growing a lot.
And you mentioned that you are leading this transition to ACC, so Autodesk Construction Cloud, for solar park construction. What has this involved and how has that kind of been in your company so far?
Well, it started last year, and we got in contact with Symetri, who helped us with the implementation. And we realized this bunch of problems we had because we always try to improve the way we work. And we really saw the root cause of many problems. What was that we were using SharePoint, which was not done for construction. And we talked a little bit internally how we should do it and how we should, implement. But it was kind of quick, the decision to go to ACC after we saw the benefits, and did just one file project, and we started in October last year with implementing this. And some people were skeptical. It was a little bit difficult in the beginning to get everyone on board. See the benefits, and of course switching workways. It's always important.
So were you looking at anything else, or was it just you looked at ACC only? Was there anything that you were comparing it with?
Yeah, we looked at a few different platforms, actually, a lot of them. But I think what they did good is that it's a very well-tested big platform that many people have used. And you can really see that it's not just, we saw many platforms that were very niche to the solar industry, which is good, that we needed to transition a lot of our business files, the way we do meetings, the way we handle emails, the way we handle the ticketing system, all that. And it was good really because they had everything at once.
So is that everything you're kind of using it for at the moment to assist with how is it assisting with the solar park construction, actually?
Yeah, so when we are done with the sales phase, me and my team take over and we design the whole park in this ACC system. So then we have the CAD files there, which is really good. It's made for handling those files. And then we review the files in the system. So then if I review some of my team's work, I can do that very efficiently and very, very structured in that platform. So then I can say, okay, you need to fix those parts in the CAD file and so on, and we can track what sort of issues we have there. But then when we're done with that, we publish drawings to the app, so everyone that is outside can see the drawings. So it's very much easy, because before we were using sort of things in SharePoint which are not made for reviewing the app. So it's very good for them to be, out there on the site, that even if they're offline, they can still view the drawings, Zoom, and do all of that. But when they're at lunch later, if they have really bad internet connection, that's still going to sync.
So it's all kind of improving collaboration and all that sort of thing as well, I guess. Was that an added benefit, or did you see that from the beginning, that they was going to help with that?
It's a lot of added benefits, so to say, that just sort of happened after a while. But one of them is, of course, increased collaboration between the other site managers and people on site to us in office. I mean, it happens a lot of things, and they take a lot of photos, for example. But those photos are just stuck in someone's phone. But now, since they're getting the app, you can really just check out this project just randomly, and they see that, all right, they actually had this huge problem of machines getting stuck in the water of very wet ground. And then we can say that, okay, but we should probably do something about this and check, more structured way of doing it. Maybe have a couple of machines or do something.
So in your session, you mentioned some of the do's and don'ts for cloud implementation. Could you maybe just name a few of these from your presentation?
I mean, one thing that's really bad is if you have a few people at the office that learn this very well, but you don't involve everyone that's going to use it very early.
Right. Okay.
So it's very difficult to get everyone in sort of a workshop that when everyone, has 1 and 2 days, they just dig down deep into it. So don't spend don't do it in the most advanced, super way in like that you in office wanted before you involve everyone in office. And don't do it. Don't try to do everything. I mean, it's like 15 different modules in it.
Yeah.
Don't try 50 different, no way in the beginning. Try 3 max. And then implement them, do it really well, get everyone used to it, and then, implement the next one. Sorry.
So where are you at your stage in your implementation now?
Well, I think we have 4 or 5 modules that most are using, and those are the most prioritized one for us. It has been going very fast, like way faster than I thought. Yeah. So I'm very happy about that. But still,
that's when you started small then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we don't know, but I think one of the reasons was that we took 3 modules, implemented them, and then we add another. The big part now is to analyze everything and try to see if we can structure and standardize everything. But it has been going very quickly.
Okay. And just going back to sort of solar parks in general, just for those that might not know, because as you mentioned, some countries are kind of still a bit slow on this. What are the actual environmental impacts and benefits of having these kind of everywhere?
So solar is one of the greenest way you can produce electricity, and it's really cool with solar panels, because you can do it like once. I actually installed a system with a non-profit I run in Uganda. So we only have 2 solar panels and 1 battery. So that's very, very, very small scale.
Right.
But then you can scale it up to tens of thousands of them in a park to produce more electricity. But, it's very scalable like that. So that's one of the benefits, but it's very cheap compared to any other source of electricity. So you can really see that in the future, it's going to be mostly solar because, the cheapest electricity source is going to win. And adding some batteries to the mix to stabilize, it's going to be very difficult to compete for any other source of energy.
So how did you kind of learn all about this? I guess it's not new, but it is growing. So how did you actually educate yourself on, how you sort of build them and how they should run? That's quite an interesting point.
Yeah, I actually did my master's thesis on this topic at Svea Solar. So I got really deep into the exciting reports and so on. And because we had to work master's thesis, then we learned a lot. But, I worked with so many talented colleagues. I mean, everyone back then when I was starting was the best in Sweden at construction or O&M or sales in procurement, whatever it was. They were the top, the best. And still, learning so much from them. So just spending time around these people, then you learn a lot.
Yeah. So are there any projects that you think, that's where we want to be, or we need to kind of get something like that in Sweden? Is there like a great project that everyone in the solar industry is kind of like, yes, that's the one?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of big solar parks are being built elsewhere, but not that much. It's really relatively small parts compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So I would say 2 things, like either we want to build a lot of bigger solar parks in Sweden, but we also want to use other technologies a lot. So usually you have fixed solar panels that are just mounted in to south. But a lot of other parts of the world use trackers. So you track the sun. Change.
Okay, yeah.
We do one of them, the first single axis trackers, you call it, that tracks the sun. But those parts I would really like to see more in Sweden, and also I would like to see these combined with agriculture. So we do one of these parts where you have machinery that can cultivate a land in between crops. So agrivoltaics, it's called combined crops and solar. So that's
okay.
what I want.
So it's not so much putting them onto building, that's all more about building the sort of actual parks on more agriculture. Is that the sort of aim where?
I mean, for my department, it is. We work with the ground mounted mostly. But for the other, I mean, I think every segment is going to grow exponentially as well. I mean, for villas, it's very good to use the roofs that you already have.
Yeah.
For commercial big factories, it's amazing to be able to put them on solar panels. But for us, we can really scale this up way more, so we can build a lot of more solar parks. So it has a place as well to do these larger parks. We're going to see which segment is going to be the largest.
And you mentioned you kind of want to use other technologies and stuff. What is it that you're not kind of using today, but you envision for the future?
I mean, we recently started developing a lot of batteries due to a new colleague that came in, really talented, one of Sweden's top talents in batteries. So she has built a lot of them. And basically, combining solar and batteries is what you should do, because you want to stabilize the production from solar, which can vary with the sun. And you also want to participate in a lot of new markets that come out. I know where you're from, in Britain, you have a lot of batteries that we built to stabilize the grid, and you get paid from the grid to help out.
Yeah.
Take these peaks and downturns. So I think batteries is the big one.
Okay. Where is the UK actually in terms of how good they are in terms of building solar parks?
Better than us. I mean,
really?
Not in the solar park. I don't know that, but the batteries.
And batteries.
Very well.
And then I guess just finally, so what do you envision for the future of solar energy and its impact on the construction industry?
Yeah, good question. I mean, what we have as an added benefit in solar is that we're coming into this construction industry now. Like just a few years ago, we started construction and solar parks, and we don't have this legacy. We don't know how to build the parks for 4 years. So we don't have this old papers or sort of instinct way of working that is stuck in those memories.
Yeah.
We just start from scratch, and then we say, okay, what's the best technology? How do we build solar parks in the most efficient way in 2024? And therefore, we can start from scratch, do it way more efficiently than maybe the construction industry can, because many are used to doing it in one way.
Definitely. I think that's one of the hardest things we experience with most of our guests. It's getting people to want to move to that more modern way of doing things, whereas you've kind of got it nice, easy, blank slate, because everyone is just starting it new, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And as every year you push changes, it's going to be more difficult. More people start, more people get used. So, you have to do it quickly. We're also going to be, used to our ways. So we need to constantly.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So I guess the only final thing to add is just what is next for you personally and professionally. Yes.
So, I mean, we really need now this time of year. So April, June, we really need to be efficient in how we build solar parks. So much things happening at the same time. So I'm going to try to make sure that we find the latest drawing. We do we do this in the most efficient way, because I know every time something happens at site, it's just a domino. So everyone has to spend a lot of time to solve that. So, building it more efficiently, implementing these 35 solar parks in the best way. So that's what I'm working for. But we're growing all the time. So if you're out there working in design, CAD, if you're working in sales, if you're working in any industry that's related to construction, then please reach out. I'm in Svea Solar and utility where I work at. We're growing a lot. So, it's going to be fun to see.
Okay, so just one question I have for you. I noticed you're wearing a gold lanyard here today. So what does that actually mean?
Well, I just learned we're nominated for one of the prizes for best BIM implementation. So this means that the way we implemented ACC in building solar parks is worthy of an award. So we'll see if we win it, and it's going to be very fun.
Great. Well, I think that is all we have time for. So thank you so much, Josef. I hope it was interesting for you, and I'm sure our listeners enjoyed. And good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.